What's going on, everybody? Cigar Show Tim here with another edition of Tobacco Talk, where I review a cigar and then I give you my thoughts on it in four key areas: flavor, draw, construction, and burn. Everything you want to know about that cigar, but it's from my palate's perspective, and then I rate it as to whether I think it's noteworthy or not. So, the cigar for this review, as the title says, is one of the newest releases coming out of EP Carrillo. It is one that I was given by Mr. Ernesto Perez Carrillo himself at PCA. And so, why not review it just a little bit before it is set to hit the market? So, as the title says, this review is on the EP Carrillo Maduro. You can see it right there. Absolutely beautiful with the oily, a little bit of a textured wrapper leaf on it. Yeah, I'm excited to get into it. So, if we're going to review it, there's only one thing left to do. Let's light it up. All right, I went with my pretty usual straight cut, as you can see right there. And on the cold draw, I'm picking up notes of some dark earthiness. There's actually a really nice, like, black cherry kind of note that's coming through on the cold draw. So it'll be really interesting to see upon this initial light up what it's like. But let's toast her up. Okay, upon initial light up, tons of smoke output, as you can tell. Tons and tons of smoke output. I love it. Upon initial light up, picking up a little bit of a black pepper, not overpowering, not a crazy sting your sinuses. Didn't really come through on the retrohale a whole lot at all, but definitely picking up some black pepper, some dark earthiness. There's some really nice, like, espresso coffee note that's in there as well, and a little bit of, like, some oaky wood. Is probably the specific, like, woodiness that's in there. Yeah. And as it continues on the long finish, the earthiness kind of overpowers that oaky woodiness. So I'm going to jump into the first third. When I come back, I will let you know what the blend on the cigar is, any flavor notes, all the different things that go along with it. And, well, let's see how the first third treats me. Let me show you the burn here at the end of the first third. You can see right there, pretty much razor straight. No issues with the burn whatsoever. Okay, let's talk about the blend on this cigar. It features a Mexican San Andres, so MSA, wrapper on it, with a Honduran binder underneath it. Now, Ernesto does not use Honduran tobacco very often. There's actually an article that's on Cigar Aficionado's website that talks about this a little bit, talks about this as well as the Sumatra and their release and information on it. But it's got the Honduran binder on it, and then the fillers are from Nicaragua. So that's the blend on it. It does come in three different sizes. There's a Robusto, which is a 5x50. There's a Toro, which is 6x52, which is what I have here. And then there is a Gordo, which is a 6x60. They're varying price points. They're from $9.25 for the Robusto to $10 for the Toro to $10.75, if I'm not mistaken, for the Gordo. So that's the MSRP on the three different Vitolas. So this is part of what's being called, or what is, the Essence series or the Essence line by EP Carrillo. The Sumatra was debuted, or released, if you will, mainly debuted at the PCA 2024 trade show just a few months ago. And then this is following that. I do have the Sumatra. I just have not done a review on it yet. So look for that in the coming weeks. But this is part of the Essence series. And if you look at the Cigar Aficionado article, you'll see that it talks about the Essence series, and that soon they've got the Sumatra here, they've got the Maduro, and then soon there's going to be a sequential release of a number of different ones. There's going to be a Honduran one, a Connecticut, and some others are going to be following in sequential years. So look for this line to be expanded upon. And it does say that this is part of the Essence line, like I mentioned a second ago. There's nowhere on the band, and the article alludes to it as well and talks about it, that does say that this is part of the Essence line, but that's exactly what this Maduro cigar is part of as they continue to expand that Essence line for EP Carrillo. Flavor notes in the first third. So the woodiness completely dropped off. It is now much more of a little bit of a toasted oakiness, which is pretty faint. The pepper has come down quite a bit, so there's not very much pepper spice in it whatsoever. I'd call it a white pepper, more on the tip of the tongue, in the front of my palate. But there's a really nice sort of espresso coffee chocolate combination, like an espresso mocha kind of note that's in here. The sweetness from the Mexican San Andres definitely plays a factor in that. There's a little bit of that sweetness in there with that sort of chocolate note. Very, very nice. The draw is doing very well. Smoke output is absolutely plentiful. Nice silky smooth texture to that smoke output. So very enjoyable in the first third. I'm going to smoke through the second third. When I come back, I'll let you know any changes in the flavor profile, anything like that. And I will say that the strength on this right now in the first third is probably at like a medium minus, not a very strong cigar. The intention behind the Maduro and the Sumatra both is to be sort of a medium strength, medium to full bodied cigar. And that's what the blend lends itself to be. And so that's what we're experiencing so far. So I'm going to jump into the second third. We'll come back and I'll let you know flavor profiles and all those good things. Let me show you the burn here at the end of the second third. You can see right there, it does have a little bit of a wave to it. Right there, it's got a little bit of a flaky ash as well coming off of it. Tons of smoke production though. The draw is not affected by any of it, and it is doing well overall with construction. I'd say that the strength on this right now at the end of the second third is probably more of a good solid medium in strength. I would say it's a medium to full body in terms of the depth of the flavors though. So flavor notes in the second third. That coffee note absolutely is the forefront with that chocolate still. It's sort of a chocolate mocha. There's that nice sweetness of the chocolate, though, that I'm still convinced is coming from the Mexican San Andres wrapper that's there. And on the long finish, there is a pretty decent amount of earthiness that comes in as well. It's not really once you blow the smoke out your palate or whether you retrohale. Either way, it's on the long finish, and it is an earthy undertone. I like the chocolate and the coffee notes a little bit more than I do the earthy undertone, but it is still complementary and not doing bad at all. So the draw is doing well. Strength, again, I would say is probably a good medium as of right now, and it is doing quite well overall. But I'm going to finish up this cigar. When I come back, I will let you know whether I think this is noteworthy or not, of course, any changes in the flavor profile, experience, what's gone on with it, any final notes, and then let you know, again, whether I think it's noteworthy or not. And you should pick this up for yourself. All right, let's wrap up this review. You can see the burn here at the end of the cigar is mostly straight. The backside has got just a little bit of a peak to it right there. It did that a few minutes ago, and it actually burned right through it with no issues whatsoever. I am using a new cigar pick, if you will, that comes from Cigar Prop. And the nub of this was starting to get a little bit warm, so it made a good excuse, good opportunity for me to use this and show all of you. It is a nub tool. It's got a reamer in it, and it's got a couple different cutters built into it. It has a punch cut that is a larger ring gauge, and then if you twist it the other way, you get a smaller ring gauge punch out of it. So very, very cool. Works out great. But let's wrap up this review with the flavor notes and all of that information. So this transitioned a little bit in the final third and became much more of a black coffee as opposed to like a medium to dark roast. Definitely a darker black roast, like an Italian or French roast, black coffee. Very nice. The chocolate note is still in there. It's not quite as sweet as it has been through the first and second third of the cigar as it's wrapping up, but there is a little bit of that pepper coming back as well. I'm going to call it a black pepper. There's a little bit of spice to it on the palate, mostly coating my palate, excuse me. When you retrohale, you really don't pick up much of the spice in it at all, so it's not one that's going to, blast out your sinuses, nothing like that at all. The retrohale is actually very, very smooth. I can blow most of the smoke out without any tingling or anything like that whatsoever. So I would categorize this as a very good example of a stereotypical Maduro cigar and what you should expect from a Maduro cigar. And here's what I mean by that. It has the sweetness of the Mexican San Andres. It has a very nice touch and go of the pepper and the spice. There's the really nice flavor notes, the richer, deeper ones for the medium to full body that are in it. And this is a very good example. If you have not checked out Maduro cigars because you're intimidated by them because, it's a dark wrapper, it's got to be strong, it's going to knock me back, this would be one that I would highly encourage you get and check out to get into the realm of Maduro cigars. Very smooth, very well balanced. I enjoyed it a lot. So if you can't tell, do I think it's nubworthy? Absolutely. I mean, let this speak for itself. This is definitely a nubworthy cigar for me. I have greatly enjoyed it. Ernesto, thank you so much for handing this to me when I sat down with you at PCA. Greatly enjoyed it. I'm going to need to get some more of them, to be completely honest with you, because it is that good. I am typically a mild plus to medium plus strength and body cigar enthusiast. This one fits right into that medium strength and medium to full bodied with the richness, with the depth of the flavors, going to the darker coffee, going to the earthiness. There's a little bit of earthiness still in there as an undertone now in the final third as well, but very, very smooth, very good cigar, and one that I can definitely see myself going to time and time again. If you are interested in this cigar, or it sounds like something you may want to pick up for yourself, put some comments down below. Let me know that if this sounds like something that is right up your alley. If you enjoy some of the more full-bodied but medium to medium plus cigars that are in the EP Carrillo portfolio, whether it be the Pledge, whether it be the Encore Black, whether it be any of the other cigars that they've released in the recent years, this is one that I highly recommend you check out and pick up and, see what your experience with it is like. But my experience has been very, very enjoyable. Definitely a noteworthy cigar. Honestly, I would go straight to a 5-pack or a box with this. I wouldn't pick up one or two. Don't mess with the singles. Go straight to a 5-pack or a box. If you enjoy the flavor notes that I mentioned, I'm not a huge earthy cigar note, like flavor note fan, and this had just enough in there to not overpower it, which I really enjoyed. But if you've had it, or if it sounds like something that you're interested in, actually you probably haven't had it yet because it is just getting ready to ship out and come out, I believe, either later this month in June or next month in July. I may be mistaken on that, but I believe that's when this is being released. Then put some comments down below and let me know if you are going to be looking out for it. If you are a typical EP Carrillo fan, there's no reason why you should not pick this up. Pick up a 5-pack and come back when you do, or maybe you're enjoying it right now. Leave some comments. Let me know if your experience is similar to mine. But that's going to do it for this edition of Tobacco Talk. Enjoy your cigar journey, everybody. I'm Cigar Show Tim. As always, I'll see you.